You know, some songs, they aren't just songs. They're worlds. Worlds so vivid we can get lost in them for decades. And today, we're checking into maybe the biggest enigma in all of rock and roll. We are decoding Hotel California.
I mean, just listen to that line. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. It's got to be one of the most chilling lines in music, right? It sounds like you have a choice, but it's really a life sentence. That single paradox, that's the key. It's the lock on this whole mystery. And man, it has haunted people for almost half a century.
So what is it? What is the real Hotel California? Is it a place you can find on a map? Was it some kind of tribute to Satan? A creepy old mental hospital? Oh, the theories are just endless. But the real truth? Well, it's way more psychological. And honestly, it's even more terrifying. Let's pull back the curtain and figure out what the Eagles were really trying to tell us.
Okay, so to get to the heart of all this darkness, we've actually got to start where the song started. And you know what's funny? It didn't begin with some scary story. It started with this beautiful, shimmering sound. So get this, the whole song, this entire epic, it started with Don Felder just sitting in a Malibu beach house, strumming a 12-string guitar. And this incredible kind of cinematic flamenco-ish chord progression just came out. He records it for the band, and Glenn Frey hears it and nicknames it Mexican Reggae. Isn't that wild? The whole dark, twisted story, it was all built on top of that one hauntingly beautiful piece of music.
Right, so to really get the hotel, you have to get the world that it came from. We're talking about Los Angeles in the mid-1970s.
See, for the Eagles, most of them weren't from there. California was supposed to be it, the promised land, right? Sunshine, freedom, opportunity. But what they actually found, deep in the heart of the music industry, it was something else entirely. That whole idealistic vibe of the 60s, it had totally decayed into what they called the me decade. A world of just insane wealth, crazy drug use, and completely hollow relationships. It was like a beautiful prison, a gilded cage.
So this is absolutely crucial. The hotel, it's not a real building you can go visit. It's a metaphor. It's a symbol for that entire LA lifestyle, and really, for the dark side of the American dream itself. It's this place that pulls you in with all the luxury and glamour, but yeah, the price of admission is your soul.
Okay, now for the fun part. The lyrics themselves are just a masterclass in misdirection and metaphor. So let's dive in and break down some of the most cryptic lines, kind of like we're detectives looking for clues to the song's real meaning.
All right from the very first verse, you know something's off. The narrator's perception is already altered. That warm smell of colitas, that's not some pretty desert flower. Colitas is slang for the buds of a marijuana plant. So right away, boom, we know we're not seeing things clearly. We're walking into this story through a haze, where nothing is what it appears to be.
And then there's this line, so clever, Mercedes-Benz. At first you think, okay, luxury cars, makes sense, but it's a pun. The Benz is a super painful condition divers get if they come up to the surface too fast. The lyric is implying that these wealthy people are so distorted by their materialism that it's actually making them physically sick. Genius wordplay.
This line, this might be the most powerful line in the entire song. The traveler asks for wine, and the captain says, "We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. It has this brilliant double meaning. First, it's a literal kind of dry joke, right? Wine isn't a spirit like whiskey or vodka. But the deeper meaning, man, it's a gut punch. It's a eulogy for the 1960s. The spirit of peace, love, and idealism, it basically died around 1969. You had things like the Altamont concert disaster, the Manson murders, and that spirit was replaced by the selfish vibe of the 70s. So that old spirit? Nope, it's not on the menu anymore.
So then you get to the part where they're in their chambers stabbing at the beast with steely knives, but they just can't kill it. So why not? Why can't they kill the beast? Well, because the beast isn't some monster hiding in the corner. The beast is them. It's their own greed, their own ego, their own addictions. You literally can't kill the demon that's powering the prison. You won't leave.
And listen to this. Even the incredible guitar solo tells the story. It's not just a solo, it's an argument. You can literally hear two different voices. You've got Don Felder's Gibson Les Paul, which is thicker, more melodic, and then you have Joe Walsh's Fender Telecaster, which is sharp, biting, and aggressive. They're battling each other, but by the end, they harmonize. They blend together. It's a perfect musical metaphor for how you lose your own identity inside the hotel.
So you see, all these clues, they all point away from those wild myths about Satan and ghosts, and they point towards something way more personal, a much more intimate kind of horror. The trap isn't some building.
The trap is in your own head.
Yeah, over the years, the rumors got crazy. People said the song was about the Church of Satan or cannibals or a mental institution, all sorts of stuff. But the Eagles themselves, they've always said, no, the horror is purely psychological. The real darkness isn't some demon out there. It's the prison we build for ourselves.
In fact, if you look at it this way, the song's story is a perfect map of the journey of addiction. Step 1, the allure. You see that shimmering light. Step 2, the indulgence. You're drinking that pink champagne on ice. Then comes step 3, the horrible realization. You're a prisoner of your own device, of your own habit. And finally, step 4, the trap. It's sprung. You can never leave.
So, why? Why does this song still hit so hard all these decades later? I think it's because the hotel isn't just some time capsule from the 70s. It's a timeless metaphor for any trap that looks absolutely beautiful from the outside. I mean, think about it for a second. The hotel could totally be the Wall Street greed of the 80s, right? Or the digital isolation of the 90s. And what about today? What about social media? We are quite literally prisoners of our own devices, our phones. We check into this digital world where everyone has a lovely face, but that real connection, it can all be an illusion.
And that brings us right back to the beginning. The absolute genius of Hotel California is that it doesn't really end. The guitar solo just fades out. It never resolves. It leaves you trapped right there with the narrator, with that final, haunting line just echoing in your head. The hotel isn't a place, it's a state of mind. And once you've been there, a piece of you never really checks out. So I guess the only question left to ask is, what's your Hotel California?